What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Demon Reads Comics. Today we're going to continue on with the Sin City, I guess you can say, books. Today we're doing, so Frank Miller's Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. This, again, is an absolute, so it comes in a slipcase. As you guys can see, I know I mentioned this earlier, or in my last video, that the slipcase covers actually have a letter on them. The last one had an S. This one has an I. Right here, and all 7 books actually spell out Sin City if you put them right next to each other. And like the previous one, I'm going to take everything out, and as you guys can see here, because I noticed this on the last one, this was like made out of bricks, right? And then the actual book itself was bricks as well, and same with the portfolio picture. And so slipcase, front and back. What this is actually supposed to be is blinds. Because in the story, the main person goes to his group, or his place, and there's a certain individual standing there, and she's standing next to the blinds. So that's what this represents. So I'm going to set this down right here. And so first and foremost, like I said in the last one, it came with this piece of paper, and it tells you everything that's in it, right? And this, when you first initially open this book, when you open the box of this, amazing absolute, it's actually wrapped like this. So I actually, now that I opened it, I take it out and I slip it right inside, just like that. And then the other thing that comes with, and this is another thing that I like too, the portfolio actually also has this blind kind of design. Like the other one had bricks, and this one has like the blinds. And this one also, Frank Miller, it's Frank Miller's Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. And when you open it up, there we go. It's actually a brand new picture, actually it's not brand new, because I've actually seen these pictures inside. But it's a picture of the main character. If you guys don't know who the main character is in the storyline of A Dame to Kill For, it's Dwight. And I believe that girl next to him, you know what? There's a lot of girls here and there, but I don't know if that's the girl he's helping, or one of the female workers on the streets. I don't know if I can say it without, saying something bad for YouTube. I said Facebook last time, and I know nobody's gonna catch that. And I do kind of on purpose. I say a mistake on purpose to see if people actually watch my videos. And but yeah, I kind of noticed that, and I said Facebook, and nobody corrected it. So anyway, so the paper, the portfolio picture, the slipcase. I'm going to set this down for now. There we go. And now the actual book itself. Again, the front and back of it has the little blinds, like it does on the slipcase. Frank Miller's Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. The back of it, I'd give anything to just cut loose, just to feel the fire one more time, by Dwight, A Dame to Kill For. The back of it, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, Frank Miller, and it says right here, book 2. And it's published by Dark Horse Comics. I do want to show you guys, let's do it from this way, before I continue, has the red paper. So it's actually just the red, like, edging of it, because the inside the paper is not red. Just showing you guys. But this also does have sewn binding. Beautiful sewn binding. So yeah, let's get started with this. Let's crack open this book, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about the story. I know previously I've been kind of talking a little bit about the story, like, more and more. But I think I'm just going to kind of give you the aspect of the story and not go into detail like I've been doing with the other ones, because the more I've been watching the other videos, I do go back and watch my previous videos. The more I go back, the more I'm kind of like giving away a lot of the story. So it's like, if somebody picks up the story, they're going to be like, well, I already know what happens, right? So I'm just going to give you guys the premise of this story and then kind of let you guys go on from there. So let's go ahead and crack open this book and go from there. All right, guys, so here it is. Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. Beautiful, beautiful. I do like this, but I don't like this kind of like matte black, because anything. Let me see if I can do it real quick. Yeah, I just kind of squeezed my finger on there. Now you can see the print. I'm not a big fan of that matte. But anyway, and as you can see here, there's like these, when you open it, before you opened it, I don't know if you guys can actually notice it, where the glossy part of it is, right when you open it, it's starting to kind of crack right there. I'm not a big fan of that either. But anyway, let's go ahead and crack it open and talk about the book. The end pages are just, one side is red and one side is black. There's a picture of Dwight and his office / home. Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, Volume 2. I believe these are called, even though they're called absolute, I think they're called library editions. I know there's deluxe editions, and I know there's trade paperbacks. This is the picture I was telling you about with the, with the blinds and her standing here. And these are all the people, if you guys want to, I'll stay right there so you guys can look at it. And if you guys want to pause it and, take a look at it for yourself, but, I can't really go down. I mean, I can, but it would take so long to go down and just read everything. And then it says, with thanks to Mickey Spillane. I'm not sure who that is or why they're giving thanks to him, but if you guys know more than that, or more than what I do with that, let me know. Actually, and before I know my previous book has like a little damage right here. This one doesn't. So again, like before, it has amazing artwork in it. I know it's just black and white. And I know in the movies, if you guys seen the movie, I didn't know this at the time because it was kind of confusing to me. The first original Sin City movie came out. Amazing. Great. This one is actually the second movie that came out, but it's a prequel to the initial Sin City. But it's not a prequel per se. It's a prequel for certain storylines. Like, there's a storyline in the original Sin City movie of Dwight. But then when you go back and watch A Dame to Kill For, it's supposed to be a prequel, and it explains why he's a different person in the second one. But then there's another storyline in A Dame to Kill For that's actually not a sequel to a story in the first movie, and that's why it was so confusing to me. So I didn't know if it was a sequel or a prequel. But in this one, it has to be a sequel, or I'm sorry, a prequel, because when he goes to the bar and he goes and meets somebody, and he goes to a bar, he actually sees Marv there. And if you guys know, Marv is from the previous book that I just did. Something happens to him, so he can't be in this book. So this storyline's a prequel to that book you just read. And so that being said, what's the story of this? Well, this is a story of Dwight. And what's funny about Dwight is you don't actually know his name until about like 30 pages into this book. And what he does, he's kind of like a private investigator. He's right now on the rooftop looking down like this glass on these two people. He's looking down, he's taking pictures. This guy's wife hired him because she thinks he's cheating. And sure enough, he really is cheating. So he's taking pictures so he can go develop the pictures and give them to the wife. And that's what he gets hired for. That's what he does. But along the way, a certain individual calls him up and wants to meet up. I guess they have a history together. And I don't know if I want to give too much of this away, but her name is Ava. He wants nothing to do with her because he says that she ruined his life. And it doesn't really go into detail how, why. It just kind of says that he kind of she left him. And going from there, the story kind of unfolds because he's trying to do his best to save her from this supposedly bad marriage that she has. But a lot of twists and turns happen, and the story kind of ends not the way you expect it to end. That's as much as I want to say about the story, about Dwight's story and this storyline. Because if I go any further, then I'm going to start, giving more spoilers than I want to, and like that I have been in the previous, videos that I've done before. But let's go ahead, and there's no nudity in these ones. I do got to be careful because even though it's in black and white, there is nudity in this, but it's just hard because I don't know if YouTube's going to be like, oh, no, this is nudity. Well, how can you tell it's nudity if it's in black and white? I never understand how YouTube is so okay with the complete gore violence that you can see in some graphic novels, but then you show a little bit of nudity and they're like, nope, not gonna happen. But yeah, overall, I do want to say Dwight is an amazing character. He is resilient, not as much as Marv is in the first book, but he is resilient. He doesn't heal as fast either, but he does have hands on him. Like, he does some work. He puts in work. This story is mostly about Dwight and him trying to save that girl I was telling you about, Ava. But you guys also have to know that there's a big storyline within this about him being in Old Town and the girls that work Old Town. And the girls that work Old Town are street workers. If you don't know what that means, then maybe you shouldn't be reading these comic books. But they're street workers. You pay them and they'll make you happy. Hopefully that explains it a little bit more. So yeah, he has a lot to do. This story has a lot to do with that, and you really need to pay attention about that. But that being said, though, if you guys have watched the movie and haven't watched this or haven't read this before, I suggest you guys read the actual graphic novels first before you watch the movie, because there's some things in here that happen that don't happen in the movie. Like, for example, I never knew about this guy in the movie, and it wasn't until this when I read this that I knew who this guy was and what he does. But it's in the movie, they take him out. They don't even show him. And that's actually kind of interesting. That I know why they do it, because he's kind of like, I mean, why even put him in there? Just have Dwight doing his own work. That being said, they took him out, right? But at the end of the day, it gives Dwight a little bit, like, you get more in depth of who Dwight is. And that, I don't like that they took that out. So if I can say again, if you guys haven't seen the movie and want to, I highly, highly recommend that you guys read the graphic novels first and then watch the movie, because it's so much better. Now overall, the story, and I think I tried to mention this before, but there's really not much like talking, considering this came out in like the 1990s. There's not much, word bubbles to read. The word bubbles you can see here are in the bubbles, but this is actually narration. And there's not much to it. Like, it goes by pretty quickly. I mean, in this one alone, you get a little bit of narration right here, right here, and right here, right here, and right here, and then it's all like pictures. This one is just pictures with a couple word bubbles, and that's it. Like, you can fly through this book pretty quickly. Like, I'm trying to slow it down to where I read a few chapters here and there, and then try to think about the story, enjoy each panel individually, and not fly through the books. Because I don't know if I made this mistake or not, but back when I read Fatal by Ed Brubaker, I think I read through it too quickly. I didn't really enjoy the art. I just read the story. And at the end of it, I was like, wait, what? And I don't want to do that with any other book. So, and yes, so each one does have chapters. Like that first part that I was just reading, see, this is chapter 2. So I don't know the way Ed Brubaker. I don't know how Frank Miller did this. I don't know if these were meant to be single, like each chapter is meant to be single issues. Like if he did A Dame to Kill For, Sin City, and he did this, like this was supposed to be, one comic book, but he made it into a chapter in this deluxe edition, and then so on and so forth. I don't know if he did it like that, or if he meant to put it out as a book and have chapters. So yeah, that's pretty much the story of this. I'll flip through this pretty quickly so you guys can get a little better look at the art. But that, like I said, that's pretty much the story of A Dame to Kill For. See that right there, she's technically supposed to be fully nude, and you can't even tell if she is or not. So I'm kind of up right there, it's kind of nudity. I apologize for that. But overall, like I said, I don't want to give too much of what happens next. I'd rather you guys read it. It's such an amazing story. Such a great book. Oh, here's Marv, by the way. Marv is freaking awesome. And what I don't like about this one so far is in this second book, you don't see like the, I guess you can see like the color. So in the movie, when we were talking about the last book, Goldie had gold hair in the movie and everything else was black and white. In this one, Ava, she's the only one that has color on her. Like her eyes are blue or greenish. When she wears a dress, it sticks out. And I was kind of flipping through the books, and I believe it's actually in the 4th book where they started introducing that. So we'll see when we come to that, because the 3rd book's not going to have it. A little bit more of the art here. Amazing art. Amazing art. This art's just so amazing. Now let me just flip through the back real quick to see the extras, if there is any. I know there is some actually, because I already read the book, but yeah, for Cyclone. See, this is where I was telling you, I didn't think, supposedly that portfolio picture was supposed to be an extra, but it's right here. But it is nice to have in that. These extra pictures, like pinup pictures, are so amazing. I think they're actually the cover pictures for each comic that came out for this run, but I'm not sure. And then this tells you, like, you know, for more Frank Miller, check out the Sin City. There's The Heart of Goodbye, A Dame to Kill For, The Big Fat Kill, The Yellow Bastard, Family Values, Booze, Broads, and Bullets, Hell and Back. I got all those. I plan on reading them and doing a video on them. And then there's other works. There's 300, Xerxes, The Fall of the House of Darius, and The Rise of Alexander. I'm not sure I'm going to pick those up. I like the 300 movie, but I don't like how it's 300 and then Xerxes. Like, it doesn't play like the second movie does, so I don't think I'm going to pick that up. I might pick up Hard Boiled, but I read a little bit of the review on it, and it just didn't pull me in. But aside from that, that's about it. Oh, and I like this at the end right here. That's freaking amazing. So that's pretty much it. So let's move on to me giving this a rating. Alright guys, so as far as me giving this a rating, it's kind of hard because I already knew what to expect in this story, considering the fact I watched the movie when it came out first. Didn't know it was actually a comic before it was the movie, so I ended up watching the movie a long time ago before I read this. And so I already knew what to expect in this, but just basing it off the art and the little bit of depth that it goes into, aside that it didn't do from the movie, I'm going to give this an 8. It was such an amazing story. Frank Miller does not disappoint whatsoever. This was such an amazing story. A Dame to Kill For, the depth that it goes into, just the art itself. It's just the way he kind of does the negatives and the positive when it comes to the black and white is so amazing to me. So yeah, I'm definitely giving this an 8. I'm definitely keeping it. So far, I'm keeping book 1 and book 2. If it comes down to it, and like, I don't know, 4 out of the 3 books don't, you know, pull me in, I might end up selling the whole, you know, 7-book lot. But as of right now, I'm definitely keeping these 2 so far. We'll see with the next ones. What sucks is, unfortunately, for the whole, I can't really give it like a whole storyline, so like a rating for all of it. Like, okay, I give the last one an 8. I'm going to give this one an 8. And both books together, I think I'm going to give about a 7 so far. Only because I've already seen the movie and knew what to expect. And what sucks about that is I already know what to expect in the next book, The Hard Kill. I know exactly what's going to happen in that book. I know exactly what's going to happen in the book after that, The Yellow Bastard. That kind of sucks because I know what's going to happen into those. But aside from those next 2 books, I don't know what's going to happen in Booze, Broads, and Bullets. I don't know what's going to happen in Family Values. And I don't know what's going to happen in Hell and Back. So those books hopefully will give me a better perspective on going into something blind and not already knowing what's going to happen. So that being said, like I said, this one I definitely give an 8. A great, amazing read. Unfortunately, because I knew what I was reading already and what was going to happen. That was on me, so that's why I'm giving it 8. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know I didn't give much away like I've been doing before. I know on my videos I haven't been giving like the plots and like what happens at the end. I definitely want to leave that to readers. But I do at least want to give more or less, give less to readers as to who does what, how it happens, and things like that. And they're not going into the book already, okay, he talked about all this. All I got to do is read to the end, you know what I mean? So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys liked the review. If you guys did, please leave a like. It really helps me out. It helps kind of put the videos out there for other people to see. If you guys haven't done so already, give me, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps build my channel, not only for me, but for other people who want to kind of see reviews and make a decision on if they want to pick the book up or not. Because I know when I was going through this, when I was looking at reviews, I only seen the review for the first one. I never seen the reviews for the second, the third, or the fourth one, and things like that. So it helps me and other people as well. Let me know if you guys in the comments down below if you guys like the stories that Frank Miller did in Sin City. Which one was your favorite? Which one was your least favorite? Why? And also let me know what books you guys want me to do next. As of right now, like I said, I'm trying to finish up the Sin City. I look over here because my pile is right there. But right now, like I said, I'm going to finish up the Sin City ones. I still have 5 more books to go, so I apologize if it gets a little bit too boring of the Sin City black and white stories, but I do want to finish them and give each book its own review. After that, I'm doing Mirka Andolfo's Hot Paprika, which is going to take me a while to read. And then we're going to do Watchmen, the whole thing of Watchmen. There's Before Watchmen, Watchmen, I think I'm just going to do Rorschach, or I think Rorschach comes after Doomsday Clock. So it's going to be Before Watchmen, Watchmen, Doomsday Clock, and then Rorschach, and then after that, Faithless. So those are my books that I have. I have them all in order of how I'm going to read them. I'm supposed to be receiving like 3 or 4 more books that are coming in. I believe it's Kill or Be Killed, Revival, Scarlet, and so those books I might throw in before some of the other ones that I read. But I know as of right now, I want to finish these up, the Sin City ones. By the time I finish them, if I get the other books, I might do like Kill or Be Killed before I read Hot Paprika, or I might, read Revival or Scarlet before I do the other ones, and kind of throw them in there. Not because I'm trying to mess up my reading order of what I want to do, but I wouldn't know where to put them, if that makes sense. As soon as I get a book, I don't want to set it down and leave it there. So anyway, that being said, I hope you guys liked the review, and we'll see you on the next one.